Hi, this is the welcoming video for Introduction to Logic. I'm Rob Loftus. I'm your instructor. I use he, him pronouns. I actually go by the name Rob. It will say James whenever you see me commenting online, and that's because my full name is James Robert Loftus, and 13 years ago when I took this job, they just entered me in the system as James Loftus, and it hasn't been changed since. If you go to the first page of Canvas when you drop in, you'll get my contact information. The best way is to contact me is by email. My email is jloftis@Lorain, LORAINCCC.edu. Okay, couple quick announcements right away. If you have a disability and need an accommodation, please contact me early in the semester. Information about accommodations is available through Disability Services. In general, the college has a huge array of ways of supporting people who are in need. And this is all handled through the Advocacy and Resource Center. The information for that is here. It's located on the first floor of the library. So what can they do for you? Well, for starters, they've got food and income assistance. And I know that in coronavirus, in the times of coronavirus, this can be necessary. Utility assistance programs, childcare services, mental health, addiction, and personal counseling services, transportation, they can give you gas money, housing, legal services, and services for victims of sexual assault or domestic violence. Okay. So this is the textbook. It's free. You can download it as a single PDF, or you can download the individual readings and problem sets separately in each week. Here, let me show you how to do that. So when you log on to Canvas, it should look like this. And there's just a link here where you can download the textbook. So you click there, and it should be a PDF file. And I prefer to save everything to my own computer. It's just easier. And I just like putting it on the desktop, so I just do that, right? And it should download. So now when I go to my desktop, I can open it here. It's a PDF file. It should open with ordinary Acrobat Viewer. And as you can see, you've got the full contents of the book here. Actually, a couple things worth noting about the book. It has a set of appendices at the end, including a glossary and a bibliography, and some notes for quick reference. So all of that is going to be very useful, and so that's a good reason to download the full textbook. But if you want to just download bits of it, that's okay as well. So when you go to the modules, right, and then you open up the first readings, it's going to say here, read chapter 1. And you have the option of downloading just chapter 1 here, or you can download the full textbook. Each chapter has problem sets, and we'll get to those, but that has a separate Dropbox over here. So that's the textbook. Let me talk a little about how the course is going to go. For starters, everything online has a deadline listed. However, those are not firm deadlines. Really, those are only guidelines. Okay? So on the one hand, if you try to do everything at the end of the course, you won't do it very well, and you will fail. On the other hand, there are no specific penalties for turning in material late. What I've done is I've broken up the schedule into 15 weeks. And if you fall more than 2 or 3 weeks behind, we're really going to need to talk, right? I'll shoot you an email. You should shoot me an email. We'll be able to figure out how you can get caught back up again. There's no penalty for having to go do this. It's just that we need to keep up. If everything happens at the end of the term, then we're all screwed. There is no final exam for this course. So there are tests, regular tests during the semester, and then the final week is essentially just a buffer zone that will handle all of the things that didn't get done during the main 15-week sequence. So exam week is the buffer zone. Okay, live sessions. This is not a synchronous course. You can do it at your own pace. However, I will be hosting 3 one-hour live drop-in sessions a week. And I will be using Kaltura Classroom for that. And the times will be determined by demand. There's going to be a doodle poll that you can take right after this video, which will let you say when you're available. And I will try to make it so that as many people can do a drop-in session as want one. You can also schedule additional sessions one-on-one with me. The sessions can be done by video or text or phone, however you want to do it. And you can schedule the sessions by email, text, or phone, however you want to do it. And during these live sessions, we will go over whatever people need to go over. We can do exercises together. We can study for tests together, however you want to do it. Again, I just want to emphasize that there are no deadlines, but there are guidelines. And so everything that's plugged into the course is when I'm hoping you'll have things done by. Okay. So there are 2 components to your grade. There are 15 weekly problem sets, and then there are 8 tests. And the problem sets are just practice for the tests. And so the tests are 60% of your grade. The problem sets are 40% of your grade. The problem sets are graded on completion. If you make a good faith effort to answer all of the questions, you will get 100 points. There will be 2 opportunities to take each test, and I will take the higher of the 2 grades. Okay, problem sets. You should try to turn in the problem sets weekly. There's no actual penalty for turning in the problem sets late. However, if you fall more than 3 weeks behind, we need to talk, as I already said. Problem sets are graded on completion. You do not have to get all of the homework problems right. To get credit for an assignment, all you have to do is show that you made a good faith effort to complete the assignment. I assign you a grade of 100 if you turn in the assignment, and a grade of 0 if you don't. Your final grade is an average of these 100s and these 0s. Okay. There are actually 3 ways to submit the problem sets. One is using software called Carnap, and the advantage of this is that it allows you to check to see if your answers are correct right away. I have a separate video coming up explaining how to register for that website and how to do the problem sets there. If you don't want to deal with Carnap, you can either download the homework exercises as word processing files, write up your answers, and then submit them, or you can actually print up the homework, just write it out on a piece of paper, take a picture of it with your phone, and then submit that picture online. Here, let me show you those latter 2 processes. Okay, so here we are in Canvas again on the first page. And if you want to submit a homework assignment, you can actually just go over here to your to-do list and click on problem set 1. And what you'll see is you've got two options here. You can download it as a PDF file or as a Word document. So if you download it as a PDF, we'll just save it to the desktop. And then you can see that the problem set just has spaces. So if you printed this up, you would have space for answers. And so these are the questions that you need to do from section 1.2. You need to do part A and part C. Okay. On the other hand, you could submit the Word document, right? And you can download that. And then for that one, rather than printing it, you could you would just open it up with your word processor, type your answers here, right? Yes, this is a statement. Save it, and then you can upload it by going to where it says submit assignment. Select that from select the file from your desktop, from your computer, etc. So in addition to the homework, the bulk of your grade, 60% of it, will actually come from the tests. Now to start with, each test will have a practice test. And that's not something that's going to be graded. I'm just going to post that and post the answer sheet, and you can work that out yourself. And then for the real test, you will have 2 chances on each test. The tests are actually randomly generated, and the practice test. On the other hand, the practice tests are not randomly generated. So I've got I've just got a fixed test that you practice on, and then the test that you actually are given is randomly generated. It does not include questions from the practice test. However, the two you may wind up pulling the same question from the database twice on the real test if you take it twice. And again, I take the higher of the 2 tests. The tests are open book and open note. And so I encourage you actually to take very good notes. Keep your notes well organized, because you'll be able to refer to them as you go along on the real tests. Once you open each test, you'll have an hour to complete it. I know a lot of people have technical difficulties with online tests. Sometimes your connection gets dropped, or it freezes you out, or anything like that. So if you have any trouble like that, just let me know by email or text, and we'll work it out. You won't have to blow one of your test attempts just because you had technical difficulty. The tests will only cover material from the readings since the last test. So in that sense, it's not cumulative. On the other hand, there is a sense in which it is cumulative, in that each unit will draw on previous units. All right, just a quick note. This is a philosophy class, and I may have just been throwing a lot of orientation and technical stuff at you, and you may have been anticipating something more fluffy in a philosophy class. So this is a meme that goes around with philosophers, what people think I did in my philosophy class and what I did in my philosophy class. I got to tell you, most of the classes I teach are far more like the hippies in the woods dancing kind of philosophy than they are this kind of technical stuff. But this is a course that's much more like a math course. And frankly, I kind of like it that way. It's a big relief for me to finally have a course where there are straightforward right and wrong answers, which isn't normally what I do. Normally I ask questions like, what is justice? And then you can say what you think justice is, and I can't impose anything on you. That's not the way logic works. So I actually find that comforting. So your next steps. If you are interested in doing a live session, just go to the Doodle poll, sign in. There'll be a little instructional video about that, and you can I'll be announcing the live sections tomorrow, Tuesday. Otherwise, you need to sign up to submit homework through Carnap and get immediate feedback if that's how you want to do the homework. And then you've got to introduce yourself and answer the discussion question in the first forum. You must do something in this class that shows up on the website in the first 14 days. Otherwise, you will be automatically dropped from the course. But introducing yourself on the discussion forum counts. So all you have to do is just say hi and answer our discussion question, and you'll be registered as officially taking the course. All right, so this is actually going to be really cool. Just now I'm thinking about how I'm leading with all the technical stuff, like the course mechanics stuff, how you're graded, rather than the fun content stuff. But actually, this is a really cool course, so I hope you like it.